This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So Narendra or someone, can you just to tell me what exactly we discussed yesterday? Do you remember what exactly we discussed yesterday? So we discussed about data transform, right? So how to use the data transform? So data transform is mainly for mapping the data from one page to another page, or else some of the property values. So instead of using the activity property set, otherwise page copy methods, we can use the data transform. Okay. So why we can use these data transform? Mainly for reusing the rules. Okay, we can reuse the rules. Like one data transform, if you create, you can use it in multiple places. You can call it from multiple data transforms, otherwise multiple activities, right? So these data transforms are part of the which category? Data model category, right? So under the data model, you can see the data transforms. Okay. So yesterday we created one of the data transform like copy present address to the permanent address. Okay, here we can use various methods like we have in the activity. So like when rule we can apply. Okay, we can use the update page to update the complete page. Okay, so we can use the otherwise, and also we can use the another option like okay, apply data transform. That is for referring to the some other data transforms from this. Okay, you can also use something called sort and comment, all these things like over there. Okay, append and append map to, as I said, if you want to copy the complete page, you can use the append to. Okay, if you want to again the properties like this, then we can use the append and map to method. Okay, so now let's go ahead for the next session. Okay, next topic. So as I said yesterday, okay, today we are going to look about the data pages. So what exactly is the data page? What exactly is the data page? So in Pega, we are going to have pages. Okay, whatever you are working, whenever you create the work object, so everything will be performed on one of the page. Okay, that means it is going to allocate some temporary memory. So that is called a cache. So in the cache, okay, the property values, okay, which you are giving, so that will be part of the one of the page. Okay, like py work page. Otherwise, we can create our own pages also. Okay, when you create the work object, you will be seeing the py work page. Along with that, we can have our own pages also, like customer page, okay, states page, otherwise cities page, something like that. Okay, so when we have these pages, okay, so how exactly we are creating these things? We are creating through the activities, right? In the activity, we are going to specify on which pages you wanted to save the data. So that we are going to declare under the pages and classes. So to get the stages, okay, from the data type, okay, we used something called states page. So we have declared it. Okay, so the states page referring to the code pega list. Why? Because here we wanted to have multiple records, multiple rows we want it. So in that case, you will be using the code pega list with PS results refers to the actual the data class from which you wanted to retrieve the data. And then in the step page, we are going to use those pages. So initially I am creating the new page and later I am browsing. So browsing the data states class. So on from which the data will be populated to the states page. Okay, and then after completing our job, we are going to finish that page. We are going to remove that page. Okay, once after you finish your job, your work, so we are going to remove that page. Okay, so the next thing, we have data pages. So why we have to go for the data pages when we are able to create the pages from pages and classes? Okay, why we have to go for the database? The reason for using the database is there are various purposes. Okay, there are various purposes. So what are those purposes? Means a database is used to cache data on demand to a clipboard page. Okay, so you used to cache the data. Cache means what? Again, it's a temporary space from where the information can be picked. Okay, temporary memory. Okay, that is called a cache. For use by one or more applications again. Okay, one or more applications means, okay, currently this is one of the application, right? What is our application name? HDFC Insurance Implementation. Okay, in the same way you would be having various applications. Okay, so here insurance framework application is there, and I also have some other applications for State Bank of India. Okay, I also have one more application for Aegon Life Insurance. Okay, so likewise you would be having n number of the applications. So if you want to, okay, if you want to access the information across multiple applications, okay, across multiple applications, then you can go for the data pages. Okay, so it is used to cache the data on demand to a clipboard page for use by one or more applications. And a database rule defines the source. Okay, what do you mean by source? What do you mean by source generally? So for example, Amazon website is there. So under the Amazon, okay, whenever you open the website, we are going to see list of the so many products, so many items. Okay, so if you want to buy something, okay, if you want to buy something, okay, so first you are going to open the website. Under the website, you are going to see in the list of the products. So if you want to buy the mobile phones, if you want to buy the laptops, okay, it is going to displaying everything on the website. So how it is coming? From where it is coming? From one of the database, right? So that database is called a source. Okay, the database can be a source. Okay, so the database rule defines the source. That means from where you want to retrieve the data, it is going to define it. And then it is going to define the scope. Okay, what do you mean by scope? Scope means, as I said yesterday again, okay, whether you want to access this information by particular work object, or if you want to use this information by particular operator, or if you want to use this information by every operator who is accessing the website. Okay, so that is the scope. So at what level you wanted to give the access? Okay, at what level you wanted to give the access? And then refresh strategy. Okay, that means when you want to refresh it. Okay, when you want to refresh this. For example, sometimes when you want to buy a phone through the Amazon, okay, sometimes you will be seeing out of stock. Okay, it will be giving the message saying out of stock. So when you wanted to access this one, okay, when you wanted to access this one, okay, when you wanted to refresh that one, so that whenever the stock comes, it has to be refreshed and it should say that item available with the quantity, 2 items available, 10 items available, like that you will be seeing the message. Okay, so that is the refresh strategy when you wanted to refresh it. Okay, when I wanted to refresh it, whenever there is a count increases for the particular product, automatically it has to be refreshed and it should say the message to the user saying it is available, item is available. Okay, and then editability. Okay, so editability means whether it should be only read only page, okay, and whether you wanted to do the changes on that also. Okay, and structure of the cache data. Okay, the structure of the cache data. So all these things are possible through the databases. I will explain you even what is structure of the cache data. Okay, so these data pages were previously known as the declare pages in earlier versions. In 6.2 or 6.3, they are called declare pages. Now it is called a data page. Okay, so anyway, you can ignore that. So now let's go ahead and create one of the data page so that we will see how exactly we can achieve all these values. We can implement all these values. Okay. So again, this data page is part of which category? So if you wanted to create Okay, if you wanted to create data page, select the create data model and again data page. Okay, here again you can select it. Otherwise, as we already under the data model, so press the right mouse button, create and then data page. So under the data page, we already discussed about what are the things, property we created, data transform we created. Now we are going for the data page. Okay, so select create and data page. So as I have selected create on this class, so applies to class will be populated automatically. Okay, now give the name of the data page. Okay, give the name of the data page. And here one more thing, there is some naming convention. Okay, here there is some naming convention. So what is the naming convention means? Okay, in general, previously whenever you want to create any rule, we will be just giving the rule name. Okay, we will be just giving the rule name. What, like for example, okay, retrieve states. Okay, like that we are giving the label. So whenever you give the label, that label was coming as a identifier. But this time you see here, along with your label, it is coming d underscore. So that means always data page will be and must be begin with the d underscore. Okay, the data page must be begin with the d underscore. So d underscore retrieve states, automatically it is going to prefix. So and even if you edit it, the name, and if you delete d underscore and say okay. Now if you select create and open, see an error. The record has one error in one place. Okay, page name, invalid page reference. Page name must start with the declare underscore or d underscore. Okay, so why declare underscore? As I said, in earlier versions of the Pega, it was called declare underscore. So that is the reason why it is also supports declare underscore. But now we are from 7.1 onwards, so by default it will take d underscore, and even if you want you can change it to the declare underscore, but whether it is declare underscore or d underscore, it must be prefix. Okay, it must be prefix of it. So say give d underscore and then retrieve states, press ok button. Now create and open. So now I'm creating the data page. So here this is the data page format or look and feel. Okay, under this, as we said, okay, the structure. Okay, that's what we have seen, right? And the structure of the cache data. So what is the structure means? Okay, so here again you want to create just one page or multiple pages. That means one record or multiple records, that you can select in the structure. See here. Okay, if you want to have only one record, then we can go for the page. And if you want to have multiple records, then we can go for the list. Okay, the structure will be page, otherwise list. Page means only one record. Under the one record, you will be having, for example, if you take employee, only one employee details you can have, employee number, employee name, address, city, state, something like that. Okay, and in case if you want to have multiple employee details, then we can go for the list. Okay, we can go for the list. So like that, okay, the structure will be specified. Okay, what kind of the page it is, whether it is a only page list property or page property. And it's like a property again. I hope everyone remember. Okay, even while creating the properties also, okay, we can specify, okay, whether it is a single page. Otherwise, if it is employee details, we have selected it as a, okay, this is also single page. For the permanent address, single page. For vehicle details, do we have anything? Multiple page.
Business address.
This is also a single page. Personal details. So we took all as a single page only. Okay, in case if you take anything as a page list property, okay, in the same way here also. Generally for the states we have taken that one. Okay, for the states. Okay, present address will be only one record. So we have taken I think single page only. Okay, so in case if you take page list property, okay, page list. Okay, if you want to have the multiple records, we were using the playlist property. Okay, so in the same way here also for the data page also, okay, we will be having something called list kind of the page it is. Details. Line details. Okay, so here we will be having the list kind of the page we wanted to create. So data page is also like a one of the page. Okay, data page is also like a one of the page property. Okay, but here the thing is, okay, we can specify multiple things like this. Okay, whether it is a page or playlist, and then after that object type. So what is the object type? So the object type again, it says like from which page you wanted to retrieve the data. So for example, as we wanted to use the states, okay, we wanted to copy the states into the drop downs. So now I want to use this Indian states as a object type. Like this. Okay, from which data type you wanted to retrieve the data, or else from which table you wanted to retrieve the data. So that we can specify. And the third one is the edit mode. Okay, so this edit mode is nothing but again whether you want to use this page only for reading purpose or you want to do the writing also. Okay, what do you mean by reading and what do you mean by writing? Generally, read property means what? Okay, read and write property means what? So here, if you take Indian states, how many we have? Around 7 states we have. So out of, do we have only 7 states? We have more of the states. So if you want to add the record, we used to select add record and we are going to add it. Okay, in the same way, now this database is referring to what? This database is referring to the Indian states only, for this only. Okay, so, and in the UI, we are populating the states, right? Okay, we are populating the states. So here when you are populating the values into the state drop down, okay, that is enough to have the read only, right? We are only getting the states from the Indian states data type and we are displaying into the states drop down. Okay, we are displaying into the states drop down. So this functionality we implemented how? Through report definition, right? Through report definition we have implemented this one. Okay, data table editor report. Okay, from this, okay, data type, from this Indian states data type we have populated into the drop down of these values, right? As I said yesterday again, okay, I told you that instead of the data page, sorry, instead of the report definition, I thought of using the data page. Okay, so data page is also for retrieving from Indian states only. Okay, retrieving from Indian states only. Okay, so are we doing any modifications in the work object?
No.
No, right? Okay, we are only just populating the values from the Indian states. Okay, so as we are not modifying any record, we can go for the read only. In case if you want to add any of the records and if you want to modify any of the name of the existing value, then we can go for the editable. Okay, then we can go for the editable. Okay, editable means we can modify the existing value. And at the same time, if you want to save the new record into the data type, then we can go for the savable. Okay, so read only means just get all the records from the data type and then use it in the UI, like populating the drop down values. Okay, populating the drop down values. Okay, and not only just population of the values. I am just telling this is one of the scenario here in the states. Okay, we are populating the data. Sometimes we may use the page for some other purpose as well. Okay, in our work object, we will be doing the processing. Got it, right? So that is the main difference between these three types of the editable mode. So read only means we can just retrieve the data from the data type. Okay. Editable means we can even modify the existing values. Savable means we can save into the data type. Okay, we can save to the data type. So here read only is enough for us as we wanted to populate into the drop down. And now the scope. So as I said again, there are three types of the scopes. Okay, thread, requester, and node. So thread means work object, requester means one operator, node means multiple operators on the server. Okay, multiple operators on the server. So this data type, this data page, okay, d underscore retrieve states data page should be available for multiple operators in the server. Then you need to select node. Okay, if you want to give the access to the multiple operators in the server, then you need to select the node. In case if you want to give the access only for one particular operator, okay, only for one particular operator, then you can use the requester. No, not even for the operator, only across the work object level. If you want to do it, you want to give the access, then we can go for the thread. Okay, so likewise we'll be selecting structure, whether it is a page or page list, and from which data type you wanted to get the data, and whether you want to just read the data from the data type or modify the data, or else you want to save the data. And then you need to select the scope. Scope means who should be access it. Okay, for example, here this is something called operator logged in, that is developer one. Okay, he is the developer one. So when I create the work object, so now what is the work object ID? H-66. Okay, H-66. So that means I am creating one work object. H-66. Okay, now even in this work object, okay, how many times I have used the states drop down? One for present address and the other one for permanent address, right? Two times I have used the state drop down. Okay, so in this work object also two times I have used it. Okay, under the present state, and then one more time is permanent state. So how many times when you create the work object, okay, when you create the work object, how many times it will call the report definition? You see here, for this drop down, okay, I used report definition, okay, Indian states. And again here also, even for the permanent address also, okay, for this also again I used the report definition Indian states. So that means total how many times it will call it? Is it calls only once, otherwise it will call two times? How exactly it is? How we can know that? By going to the tracer. Okay, under the tracer again, after starting the tracer, then you can go for the flow, and from the flow again you can run it. Okay, so once if you run that, now can you see? Settings, 1 second. Did we select report definition or something like that here? Okay, report definition is not there, but still, if you want to see how many times it is called, populate state. Okay, this we have done through the activity. Okay, to which we have done through the activity? This activity. Okay, where exactly we have used populate state? Okay, so here we used both the times report definition. So we did not use the something called through the clipboard page, right? So under the vehicle details or under the customer details, okay, for this flow action, under the actions, we have used the populate state. So why we used this populate state activity as a pre-one? Is anyone remember? So through this activity only, okay, through this populate state activity only, we have populated to the states page, and then, okay, here in the user interface section, we used for clipboard page. Okay, we used for clipboard page like this, right? So that is the reason why we used populate states. What exactly? Activity. So from the populate stage activity, we have populated to the states page. From the states page, it is populating to this drop down. But when you use the report definition again, okay, when you use the report definition, is it required to use the populate states again? Abhinaya, Narendra, anybody else? Shravani. Very simple things, just to think of it. So we can populate the data to this drop down through the report definition. Okay, that is through the data table editor report. Otherwise, we can also do through the clipboard page. But if you use the clipboard page, okay, we need to populate the states to the states page. That is available in the clipboard. So how exactly we are doing? Through the populate state. Okay, so from the populate state activity, first of all, I am copying to the states page. From the states page, I am going to be displaying into the drop down. But when you use the report definition, okay, so the report definition itself populating the data into the drop down. So we need not use the populate state. There is no confusion, very simple. Okay, if you want to use through the clipboard page, then you have to use the populate activity through to populate into the states page. But if you use the report definition, then you need not use this activity to populate to the states page. Okay, so but when I was showing to you, okay, both the methods, then I have used the populate state as a pre-activity under the flow action. Okay, so as we used the report definition now, we need not use this activity as a pre-activity. Okay, for this flow action, pre-activity is not required. Okay, so even you can delete it, still you can see the values of it. Delete this populate activity, save it. And then if you run now, still you can see the values on both the drop downs. Why? Because this time I have populated through the report definition. See, here also states are there and here also states are there. Guys, clear or any confusion?
Clear, sir.
Nice. Okay. So, okay. So, as I said, now how many times this report definition is getting called? Okay, how many times this report definition is getting called? Okay. So, flow started, stream rules. Okay, for one. Now, if you clear it and if you play it, this time you can see that, okay, it will not call that activity. Actions run. Now go to see. This time populate state activity is not getting called, but still the values are available on the states drop down. Okay. Second. Flow. Code definition rule we are not able to see it. Okay. Customer details container. Okay, it is showing the layouts, customer home address, customer office address. Those streams it is showing. Okay, this is the customer home address and that is the customer office address. Okay. So it is showing the section by section wise. Okay, but it is not showing the report definition wise. Okay, so anyway, let's see once again. So generally what it happens, so when you have the drop down 2 times and when you call the report definition 2 times, okay, it will hit the server also 2 times. Okay, server in the sense it will go to the data type also 2 times, and from the data type it will get the data. Okay, 2 times it will be getting the data. Okay, so but for the same drop down, is it required to hit the data, hit the server 2 times?
No.
No, right? Okay, so it is waste of the time, server memory and everything. Okay, so same values here also, same values here also. In that case, it is not required to hit the server 2 times. Okay, only 1 time you can hit the server. So in that case, what we can do is, okay, instead of using this report definition directly, okay, we can create a database. From the database, we can load the data. Okay, so now the data page is this one. Okay, so that is called thread. Thread means work for the entire work object. Only once it will call the server. Only one time it will connect to the server. Okay, if it is thread. And sometimes, okay, you can have requester. Requester means what? Okay, requester means, as I said, operator. Okay, even this operator will create only one work object. No, he can create n number of the work objects. Okay, he would create n number of the work objects. So h-66 and then h-67. Okay, h-67. So in that case, again for this work object also, it will again load the present state and again permanent. Okay, so if you use the report definition, when this operator creates 2 work objects, how many times it will call? It will hit the server.
Only once.
Okay, when you use the scope as
The
requester.
requester.
Okay, but if you use thread, how many times it will?
Twice.
2 times. And even here also, okay, instead of using this data page, if you use the report definition, how many times it will call?
Twice.
Using the data page. As I said, in the drop down, okay, in the drop down for this, instead of using the data page, if I use this report definition, how many times it will call?
4 times.
Exactly, 4 times. Okay, if you use the report definition, for each and every drop down, for each and every instance, it will hit the server. But if you use the thread for entire work object, only once it will call it. But if you use, instead of the thread, okay, if you use requester for the complete operator ID, only once it will call. Okay, that means only once it is. Okay, and instead of this requester, if I use node, that means on the same server, developer 1 is connected Okay, developer 1 is connected, and also the developer 2 also getting connected. Developer 2, and he created around 3 work objects. Okay, he created around 3 work objects, and each work object contains again 2 times this drop down. Okay, so if you use node, so how many times it will call?
Only once.
Exactly. So even as many developers may be logged in, still it will call only once. But if you use the report definition, so how many times it will call for this total 2 operators and 5 work?
10 times.
10. Okay, report definition means for each and every drop down it will call, so total it will be 10. But if you use, okay, requester, how many times it will call?
Five times.
No, requester.
2 times. 2 times. 2
Yeah,
times.
exactly, 2 times. For this requester, once. For this requester, once. Okay, like this. So that is the scope. So first let me try with the thread. Okay, try with the thread, and then here the data source. Okay, as I said, the source can be what? From where the data will be retrieved. Okay, so here from where we are retrieving? From this data type. Okay, so like that there are various sources available. Okay, sometimes I don't have the states information in my Pega itself. Okay, it is completely different to server. Okay, completely different server. So from there, if you want to retrieve the data, you can use the connectors. So connector concept again we will be learning, but generally to connect to the external systems, we will be using the connector. And at the same time, if you want, you can use the data transform also. Okay, if you want, you can use the report definition also. Otherwise, you can use the activity also, and then you can use the robotic automation also. Okay, but in this, okay, we are clear about data transform, report definition, and activity, right? We use the data transform to copy the data, okay, and report definition to retrieve the data. Again, activity also, okay, to retrieve the data, we used it. Okay, so for example, okay, here I'm using the report definition. Okay, again under the report definition, okay, you can select the report from where you wanted to retrieve it, from Indian states. Okay, we wanted to copy the data from Indian states. Okay, so remaining is not mandatory, response data transform is not mandatory. Okay, so if you do like this, what it will happen, you know, it is going to create the data page. So even you can see that. Okay, so how? Save it and then actions, run it, and then run it. Okay, so now if you go to the clipboard, it will create a data page. So what will be the page name? What will be the page name is same as your data page name, the underscore retrieve states. Okay, so see whether it is available, the underscore retrieve states. Do we have the underscore retrieve states? D underscore D underscore D underscore P and then R RA application, not there. Why it is not there? Why? Because the data pages will be under the data pages category. Till now, PY work page or else the states information, the states page, everything we used under the user pages. Okay, the pages will be under the user pages, but the data pages will be under the data pages category. So expand this, and then here it is showing again based on the scope. Okay, as we said, thread, requester, node. So what kind of the scope you have applied for your database, it will be differentiated. So now our D underscore retrieve states will be under which category it will be? Ours is thread, right? So it will be under the thread category. See, under this now we are able to see our page d underscore retrieve states. Under that again you will be having PS results. See, I'm able to see all the 7 records. Okay, all the 7 records. So what is the country ID? India. Okay, state ID AP and then state name. Along with that, you are able to see some of the predefined Pega properties. Okay, as I said in the initial class itself, I don't know how many you remember. Always the Pega properties will be having some prefix with PX, PY or PZ, right? PX means read only. Okay, PY means read and write. PZ means no read and no write. Okay, so why these PX properties are read only? Why? Because it is saying that PX create datetime. Okay, so it is going to give when this rule has been created and then the operator who created it. Okay, the operator name and then system ID. Okay, system ID means this Pega system name. Okay, and then the class name PXOBJ class. Update datetime, update operator, and then update operator name. Okay, update system ID Pega like this. So align with your properties. Okay, it also have predefined properties. Okay, everywhere you will be seeing these values, these properties. So that gives when the work object created, when the rule created, when the data page is created. So all this information will be there. Okay, but you can ignore all these values. Okay, you can, but if you want, you can use these values. You cannot update these values, but you can copy these values to the some other properties and you can use it accordingly. PX means read only, na? So read only means we can use this. Everybody clear?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay. So like this. So if you want to see the second record, see ARP Arunachal Pradesh 3 BH Bihar. Okay. So like this, we will be creating the data pages. So once if you create this data page, then you can use it in the user interface or wherever you want. Okay. So before going to that, let me go ahead and try one more thing. Okay, now I'm closing this clipboard. Okay, so as I said, it is thread. Let me make it as a node and see how exactly it will work out. Okay, but when you use the node, here we have something called access group. That access group, we need to specify it. Okay, so you can use our current access group. Okay, 002 is not available. So what is our access group we used for this? This is only right. HDFC insurance implementation. Okay, under the administrators. Okay. Here version it is referring to the 010101. Okay, but actually we created the latest version, not so we have to refer that. It's not available. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Ours is insurance implementation. Okay, ours is insurance implementation. So I have given that. Now actions run. Okay, so here when you are running, you will be seeing a small checkbox. Flush all instances of this data page before execution. Okay, flush means clear the previous page. Okay, like page remove and then run it. Okay, so now let's go to the clipboard. Okay, now let's go to the clipboard. Under the clipboard, now where exactly we can see this? Under the data pages. Previously we have seen under the thread category. Okay, but this time we need to see under the node category.
Node.
Yeah, see under the node we can have d underscore retrieve states. Okay, and as I said, you see, if you see in the thread, still you are able to see this. Why? You changed it to the node, so it's got created under the node category also, but at the same time it is still available under the thread category. Why it is available?
For that particular work object.
What it says? A data page is used to cache data on demand to a clipboard. Okay, what it means? Cache data. That means it is going to caching. Means it is going to create under the temporary memory. So it is available on the clipboard. Okay, so it will be available on the clipboard until unless you delete it again. The main purpose of the data page itself caching into the clipboard. Okay, so we did not delete it. So until unless you delete it, it will be available on the clipboard. So how you can delete it? Okay, how you can delete it means, okay, you can delete it through the activity also. Okay, you can delete it through the activity also, or else you can, it will be available until unless you restart the server. Okay, it will be available on the memory until unless you restart the server. Okay, no problem. So, and after that we will try for the requester also. Right now is it there on the requester? Do we have it on the requester? It is there only on the data pages of thread, data pages of node, but it's not available on the requester data. Under the requester category, we don't have it, right? D underscore retrieve states. Do we have it? MNOP. Okay, D underscore P and then P. After P we have T. So it's not having on the requester. So in case if you create it as a requester, then change it as a requester and then save. Okay, and then actions, run it. Okay, next to go to the clipboard. Next to close the user pages, expand the data pages, go to the requester and D underscore retrieve. D underscore retrieve states like this. Okay, so likewise it is going to create the data pages. Okay, and you should get one doubt by this time. What is that? Initially I have searched under the user pages. Okay, when I search under the user pages, okay, still there are some Pega defined data pages are there, D underscore app explorer, D underscore delegation configuration, like this. So is it a data page? Is it a data page or normal page?
Yes, data page.
Okay, how come you are telling that it's a data page?
D underscore is the prefix.
Exactly, so D underscore. But as I said, okay, data pages will be under the data pages category. If it is a thread or requester or node, it should be under any of these category. Then how come the data pages are here? Why under the user pages? Why they are not part of the data pages? Okay, so do we have our data page here? D underscore retrieve states have it
No.
here? No. Okay, then why ours is not coming here? Why ours is going exactly into the particular category? And why only the Pega different things are going over there? Means it's not because of the Pega or else we created. It's because of the editable mode. Okay, all the read-only pages will be under the data pages category. In case if you make it as a editable, save it and run it. Okay, so if you run now, if you go to the clipboard, d underscore retrieve states, can we see it under the user pages? Yes. See, d underscore retrieve states under user pages. You got it right? The difference when we are getting under the user pages, when we are getting under the data pages. Tell me when.
Readable is under databases and editable under.
Excellent. So readable is under the data pages and it will go under the particular category of the scope. But whereas if it is editable, irrespective of the scope, it will go to the clipboard user pages. Okay, irrespective of the scope, it will be under the user pages if it is editable. If it is read only, then 100% it will go to the data pages. Even under the data pages also, based on the scope you are selecting, whether it is a requester, thread or not, it will be going into that particular category. Okay, got it right? The next thing. Okay, what's the next thing? So now we got this report definition from this class which is populating the Indian states. Okay, in case if I select this data table editor report from Indian cities, then what will happen? Then what will happen in case if it is from the Indian cities? What will happen? The name of the data page will be d underscore retrieve states only, but into that it will load the values of the cities. Why? Because this class refers to the Indian cities. Okay, this class refers to the Indian cities. And in case if you select this Indian states, then it will be getting the data from the Indian states. Okay, so likewise based on the class and then in that class the report definition which you are selecting, from that class it will be populating the data. Okay, now let's go to the home address. Okay, here again as I said, instead of the report definition we can use the data page. So what is the data page name which we created? D underscore Indian states, then submit. Okay, it is asking for the parameter. So what is our report definition name? Retrieve states. Okay, let's use that. Retrieve states. Okay, for this we are not using any parameter. We did not apply any parameters. And then what is the property value? Value will be state ID. And then display text is state name. Okay, submit, save it. Okay, now if you run the work object again, I'm closing the existing work object. Okay, if you run the work object, actions, run. Okay, so here it's populating through database, here it's populating through report definition. How exactly you can see it again? Again, keep the tracer. Okay, actions, run, H-71 has been created. Okay, so here stream rules only it is showing. Okay, why? Because here The data pages we did not select it. Select the data page. Okay. Clear. Again, it's not showing data page. Okay. It is a rule set. It is having actually the underscore two states. French implementation 01002. Data page. Show this data page. Show the set. Actions. Actually, it should display the data page also. Okay. Yes. Okay. Correct. 1 second. Close. Okay. So once again, what I want to do is I just want to go to the clipboard and want to see whether it is existing or not. Okay. Why? Because the main purpose of the data page itself, caching it. So once if it is cached, so it will be picking up from there. Okay, it is picking up from there. Actions, run. Okay, now run. Now go to clipboard. If you go to clipboard, so right now what kind of the data page it is? Is it a read only or editable? Editable. So it will be under the user pages. D underscore retrieve states. Yeah, D underscore retrieve states. Okay. So here under the user pages we have it. Okay, as I said earlier, in the data pages also we have thread. Okay, d underscore retrieve states. Okay, even if it is a requester also we have it. D underscore retrieve states. Okay, even under the node also we have it. So once if you have it on the clipboard, okay, it will not call it again. It will not create it again. So that is the reason why even when you create the work object, it is not calling. Only the first time it will call the data page and it will be creating it. Okay, only the first time it will be called that. But from the subsequent onwards, it will not be doing that. Okay, it will not be calling that. So once if you clear this, then only you can do it. Okay, so read only. Okay, read only requester, save it, clear the data page, flush all, submit it. Removed from the clipboard. So which one we removed?
Requester.
We removed from the requester, right? Data pages, requester. See, now we don't have it. Now in the same way, what you can do is you can remove the thread. Select the thread, save it. From the load main element, you can clear it. Flush all, submit. Removed successfully, close. So now this time we removed from the thread. And in the same way, node also. Save it. For the node, this is mandatory. Save it. Okay, clear. Flush all. Submit. Remove. Now if you see on the clipboard, okay, refresh the clipboard. Okay, so here again, under the data pages, thread, nothing is there. Under the node, nothing is there. Under the requester, okay, here also, nothing is there. Okay, we removed it. Okay, we removed it from all the places. Okay. So once after removing it, now if you select node, whatever you want you can select, either thread or requester or node. Okay, let it be node only. Now go to the flow and keep the tracer and then actions run. Okay, now if you see now you are able to see the database clearly. Okay, it is getting called it. So this is the first time I created the work object and it's called the data page. So how many steps are there? 32. Now I'm going to rerun the flow again. Actions run. Okay, h-75. After 32, okay, after 32, now it's called 63. Okay, it's again getting called. Okay, so likewise it is getting called every time. So even if you see it on the clipboard, still it will be available on the. So as it is node level, as it is under the node level, data page node d underscore retrieve states. It will be available at the node level. Okay, so that is the main difference of the data pages. So this is the way we can create under the different scopes, node, requester, thread, whether it is read only or editable mode, okay, page list or page, and again from which class you wanted to retrieve the data. So and again whether it is a report definition or through the activity also you can refer it. But even if you call it from the activity also, still the data will be available under the d underscore retrieve states only. Okay, under the d underscore retrieve states only. Okay. And so under the load main element also we have few different things. Okay, so like under the load main element, whether you want to clear this page, you can clear it from here. Otherwise, what you can do is you can refresh it automatically. Okay, so when you want to refresh it for every 1 day or every hour or else every minute or every second, like that also you can specify. Okay, that means, okay, once after loading the page into the clipboard, okay, from the subsequent requests onwards, what it will do, it will not call it again, so it will be picking up. But if you give the reload if older than 1 day, okay, otherwise if you give 0 and 1 hour, so for every 1 hour it will remove the page from the clipboard and it will create it. Okay, in case if you give 0 and 1 minute, so for every 1 minute, okay, it is going to refresh the page, means remove the page and create it again. So like that, reload if older than, and even you can select that clear pages after non-use. Okay, so it will be having some maintain some time. So if it is not used particular time of this, then it is going to clear the pages after non-use. Okay, so likewise we can do the experimental also. This is not much important, but mainly the refresh of the loading mechanism is important. And this refresh also will be coming based on the option you are selecting here. Here, in case if you select editable, okay, the load management will not be having. Only manually only you can do it. Manually only you can clear it. But if you make it read only, then you will be getting these options. Okay, reload once per interaction. Okay, don't reload when. Okay, reload if older than. Like this you can get it. Okay, so reload once per interaction means again, if one operator, okay, if one operator logs in, okay, for every interaction it is going to, that means for every work object it is going to reload it. Okay, for every interaction with the server it is going to reload it. That's like a for every work object. Or else even you can apply some when condition also when you wanted to refresh it. Okay, you can specify some date kind of the validation also in the when rule. So those things you can specify. No, I don't want to do these kind of the things. So simply you can give for every 1 day or 1 hour or 1 minute or 1 second like this. This is also you can refresh it. And at the same time you can also have something called parameters. Okay, as we have the parameters for other rules like activity, sections, okay, we also have the parameters for the data pages. So, but if you give the parameter, when you are referring that data page, you have to pass that parameter. So as we have seen it here for the state, okay, right now we use d underscore retrieve states. Okay, d underscore retrieve states. So in case if you take something called d underscore Indian states, so which is created by Pega. So it is taking some state ID as a parameter. Okay, so and even if you want, you can open that and you can see it. See, this is the d underscore Indian states has been created by Pega. So it is taking some parameter, state ID, and based on the parameter, it is performing the action. Okay, so here we can see it in the parameters like this. Parameter state ID. So that means for the particular state, it will be works. So when we can use this, okay, if you want to get only the particular state information, we can use this one. Okay, got it? So clear or any doubts? Prashant or Abhinaya? Anybody?
Sir, that on the tracer the action you have done it before. I did not understand that, sir.
Which
You have
action?
run it the again, no, sir. After 32 records, the records has repeated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Previously, on when the records are on the clipboard, the data pages are not visible, no, sir.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mean to say first time, okay, even when we run that, it is not visible
Yeah.
initially. So why it was
Yeah.
not?
Initial.
Yeah, why? Because it was already there on the clipboard.
Yeah.
Okay, but second time, okay, I removed those pages from the clipboard, so it is getting visible.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so
The second time when you run it again, after 32 records, the records are repeated, no, sir. First, once you clear the clipboard, at the first time you run it, the records are available.
Yeah, correct.
Second time you run it again. Again, why it is showing data pages, sir? Already they up to 32 records.
Mhm. What is this?
Thread.
Thread means what?
Okay, I got it, sir.
Got it, na? Yeah, for every
Yeah,
work
got it,
object, it will call it.
Okay, sir.
I'm very happy that you observed it. That's what I was expecting. Is anybody observed or leaving that? But I'm really happy. Okay. So based on the scope, okay, it is going to call it again or it will not call it again.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So any other queries?
Nothing, sir.
Okay. Anyway, okay. Yeah, I would like to have it tomorrow also. Okay. So tomorrow, is it okay at 9:30 p.m.?
Okay.
Okay, nice. Okay, maybe if possible, we will continue for 2 hours tomorrow from 9:30 to 11:30. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
hello. Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Sir, can you share your contact number? If you don't mind.
Sorry, who is that? Prashant?
Prashant. Yeah.
Yeah, Prashant, tell me.
Sir, your contact number, please, sir.
Yeah, I will ask Venkat to share my number to you. Okay, na?
Venkat.
Okay.
Okay. Venkat.
Venkat only, right?
Okay,
You
sir.
people
Yeah.
are getting in touch with Venkat only, right?
Actually, I don't have Venkat number, so that's why.
Not my number. So with whom you are interacting actually?